I'm Lacey Klontz with Dr. Matt and Deborah St. John. Hey guys.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. I missed you all last week.
We missed it.
Hasn't it been a busy 2 weeks, though?
Absolutely. So much is going on in the world, and
Yeah, wow.
Just-
What a night last night, and then day today, and a lot of cool stuff happening. We this past weekend, we were invited to teach once again at the Deep South Herb Conference. My friend Daryl Patton.
Mentone, Alabama.
In Mentone, Alabama. Daryl Patton, a friend of mine, just since I was a teenager, I was introduced to Daryl by Tommy Bass before he passed away in 1996. And but Daryl has this Deep South Herb Conference up in Mentone, Alabama. It kind of started out in Chehaw for several years, and it's just this awesome event. People come from all over the country. We have herbalists, doctors, medical doctors, nutritional experts, massage therapists,
Ooh, how
people
nice.
who own health food store, people who are, we have nurses, and we also have homesteaders and survivalists.
survivalists?
Yeah, like homesteader, people who teach, people like James Gibson, the knife maker, who's very, very popular. He's one of the most well-regarded knife makers, I think, on the earth today alive.
Wow.
And people like that come to these events and they teach. They do it for free. They don't get paid. And we don't get paid
Well,
to do
that's
it.
nice.
I know, and then we just go and we share and we teach classes. And so people come to this event, and we teach on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And they'll come in and they'll choose classes, and then they'll get to attend whichever classes. And then but we had a few classes. What did we do classes on this time? We had
T. Gandhi.
yeah,
Who?
Toxoplasma gondii. Well, you've heard of that. Remember the T. Gandhi, the brain cysts, the
Did we?
parasitic brain cysts that can hide in your brain.
Sounds like maybe I have one because I don't remember that.
Yeah. That's,
That was a really early show that we did that.
I
that
think maybe we
class
had
on.
somebody else.
I think we did.
You weren't the host on that show.
We'll have to teach you
Oh,
about
my
it.
goodness.
I'm not clueless. Okay,
No,
how does it work?
Toxoplasma gondii is the oldest known parasite that exists today. Possibly up to 60% of all society, in other words, every human alive, has the cyst of this parasite in their brains.
I'm so glad I know this.
And okay, toxoplasma or toxoplasmosis is the infection stage of this particular parasite, and it's the reason that they recommend that women not be around cats or mostly
Scooping the litter box.
litter boxes when they're pregnant. You've heard
what?
of yeah? They tell
Yeah.
pregnant women not to get around litter boxes because
Okay.
they could end up with something called toxoplasmosis, which is actually the infection stage of Toxoplasma gondii. Unfortunately, the cyst of this particular parasite reside all throughout the body, and this parasite hijacks immune cells and beelines it straight past your blood-brain barrier and will embed itself into your brain, where they lay there as cyst. And you may never have the infection of toxoplasmosis, but these cysts have been clinically shown to modify human behavior, make you more likely to be an entrepreneur, make you more suicidal, give you road rage.
Wait,
make you
hang
more,
on,
make you more of a sociopath.
An entrepreneur?
Yeah.
And then you said the good one, and then you went to the bad stuff.
Yeah,
But
well,
no,
it
it makes
wasn't a good
sense
one, not
because a
necessarily.
lot
It makes you
because
a risk taker.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of sociopaths and psychopaths, they do have those high-end CEO like entrepreneur jobs because they don't mind, cutting throat to get up there.
Exactly.
I'm looking
That
this
does
up.
not mean you are a sociopath, narcissist, psychopath if you're a CEO. Don't.
No, not necessarily,
No.
but it might. And it makes you more likely to commit road rage. That was from a Turkish study.
Really?
It's Elon Musk at 9:30 a.m. on September the 11th of 2024, September the 11th, said Toxoplasma gondii is a danger to our democracy. Weird, huh? Why would he say that? Well, because once again, 60 people are like, "What's that?" They thought it was in reference to Trump's comment to Kamala about the whole cat thing, dog and cat thing in Ohio. And so they thought when they looked up this parasite, they're like, "Oh, it's a cat parasite. He must be talking about Trump or something." But it wasn't.
It's totally unrelated.
He's totally talking about the effect that this particular parasite has been having on society. And it's not just today's society. Okay, who in the history of the world worship cats?
Oh,
Just the Greek and the Norse and the Aztecs and the Incas and the Egyptians.
everybody that's
and
not here.
Chinese.
So every
Yeah.
every single group, every single of these groups that lasted thousands and thousands of years in some cases, They all happen to have something in common. They all happen to worship cats. Remember, think about the idea of the crazy cat lady.
I was going to say the crazy
Yeah.
cat
Yeah, you
lady.
got about 60 cats at her house.
and
you know.
she's crazy because
Toxoplasma gondii.
Yeah.
And actually, the
is that where
infection.
that comes from?
Uh-huh.
The
It kinda-
expression?
Yeah. Well.
No, not
Well,
really.
I mean,
but-
well, I mean,
could.
It could be.
It could be because if you have just a overflowing number of cats, you're way more likely to have the parasite.
Absolutely. Where are
which
they
is
gonna-
going to affect your personality, how you act, how you think.
It makes you more
That is so
sociopathic, more likely
weird.
to take risk. It makes you more risk taking. When rats get toxoplasmosis, they become attracted to cat urine and will actually go find a cat to kill it.
Because the parasite in the mouse wants to be in the cat. It can only reproduce when it's in a cat. Okay, so
That's
if
so
you,
weird.
so if a fox has the
Yeah.
parasite, it won't be as scared of the felines that are out to get it.
It's predators.
Yeah, if
It makes humans less fearful of things
I-
like skydiving.
I was going to say,
I was about to do a
yeah.
country song.
car accidents,
Rocky Mountain climbing.
they're more likely to have car accidents.
Something about Fu
with-
Manchu.
Also, they're supposedly more attractive.
Listen to this.
Huh?
Okay, this is
Yeah.
crazy. This is wild. Well,
It's
see, here,
weird.
what's this? Toxoplasma and lack of conscientiousness. Boom. Can the common brain parasite, Toxoplasma gondii, influence human culture? Human culture. It's very interesting. What were you talking about exactly?
That it makes you more attractive.
Yeah, this is a wild one. Okay, so they took a
Really?
group of
Like-
people who had Toxoplasma gondii, right?
Yeah.
It's a very difficult thing because you can only test through like immune cells, like IgG and IgA, or you can have a brain biopsy. Just take a slice out of your brain. But so they do that with the mice, and so where were we?
They took a room and put
Okay,
people
I
in
keep
it.
forgetting. Okay, so they took a room. Where's my brain fog? So they took a room. Now check this out. They took a room and they had these people who were infected with T. gondii appear in front of individuals who did not have T. gondii. These people were just normies, right? Big group of normies, and they took a poll on each individual that people saw. Imagine doing this. So when they saw the person, they rated them as far as attractiveness.
It's like the Hot or Not app that came out
Yep.
years ago.
And people with T. gondii across the board were more attractive to the people who didn't have T. gondii. Isn't that weird? It's almost like the Jezebel spirit as a parasite.
But a parasite.
Yeah, I know.
That's so gross.
It's interesting because in medicine, it's interesting. We heard of a pediatrician the other day who literally told one of our people that pinworms had been eradicated in the United States, even though 1 in 3 kids get pinworms.
Yeah.
Imagine a physician looking at a woman, a mother, and saying, "By the way, your kid doesn't have pinworms that you clearly see and have told me about. Instead, I just don't believe they exist anymore." Because here's the thing: what do physicians do for parasites? That's what we do.
Yeah.
They can't do
treat it.
anything that we can't do.
Yeah.
They don't have a medication that's effective against parasites that we don't have something like artemisinin that's more powerful. So there's no money in parasites. You can't do chemotherapy for parasites. They'd rather the parasites keep the parasites, get cancer from the parasite, then they'll treat you with cancer.
Because of money?
Of course.
absolutely.
Absolutely. And so it's interesting. So anyway, I don't know how we got off on that tangent, but I forgot that we had done that
Parasites?
early on, and you weren't here when we did that original. We did a whole show on. We did a PowerPoint.
There
yeah, I was
We
not
had,
there
we
for
had
that.
slides. We had the whole thing.
Well, there are ways to get rid of it.
I
Yes,
was
you can
going
get
to
rid of
say,
T. gondii.
what's the natural way, and what do?
Clinically,
Is there like an actual medicine for this sort of thing, which we're not advising, but
Well, I
just
mean, no, I
is-
mean, it wasn't
they don't have it at
no,
all
there's no medicine.
because of
Right.
got it.
But,
Okay.
but there is something that literally can eradicate it.
How's it?
It's black seed oil.
oh, I've heard
Black
of
seed
that.
oil, black human seed oil has been shown clinically to eradicate the cyst of T. gondii. So have rosemary terpenes, turmeric oil, and what else?
Beta pinene.
Beta pinene. That's right.
Beta who?
And beta pinene it's one of the terpenes from. There's alpha pinene and beta pinene that come from the pine needle extract. And so we're working on a formula right now. We've been working on it. We have the black seed oil and we have all this, but we're wanting to combine it into a formula. What's really, you know, what's really weird?
What's that?
If you have T. gondii, guess what you don't want to get rid of?
T. gondii.
Right. So guess what happens
Because
when
it
you
makes
tell?
you feel attractive. No, I'm
Right.
kidding.
You feel powerful. You don't want to lose your sociopathy or your lack of conscientiousness. Who wants to be
That
conscientious?
does
right?
sound kind of fun.
It is, yeah, just being a psycho.
I know.
Speaking of psychos, how about the election? You know what's really
Woo,
cool?
what a segue.
Yeah, I did that.
That was good.
So I want to read something to you here, and this is something we posted on the St. John's. Matter of fact, it went viral. It's been shared like 300 times, which was really cool. We posted this because RFK. How many folks know that when you got Trump in the White House, you happened to also get this character named RFK? We got a Kennedy in the White House now. And that shouldn't be a huge deal to a lot of people, except this guy cares about health. Now listen, you want to hear what Robert Kennedy Jr. just said?
Yes.
This was today. He said at 4:25 p.m. Actually, that wasn't today. It's been a while back. But anyway, he said the FDA's war on public health is about to end. This includes its aggressive suppression of psychedelics, peptides, stem cells, raw milk, hyperbaric therapies, chelating compounds, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, vitamins, clean foods, sunshine, exercise, nutraceuticals, and anything else that advances human health and can't be patented by Big Pharma. If you work for the FDA and are part of this corrupt system, I have 2 messages for you. Number 1, preserve your records, and number 2, pack your bags. So,
Wow.
pretty cool, huh?
It's pretty profound.
Yeah, that's been shared. Goodness gracious.
When was that?
Several. Well, we just put it up today.
Okay.
But so we really have something special happening right now, and I'm not even talking about Trump or Harris, whatever. But it's really amazing to see health being discussed.
That's interesting because that's not normally.
No, you don't. Have you ever heard
They
anything
want
like
you
that
to be
before?
sick.
Of course, and oh, by the way, 5 of the nation's largest pharmaceutical companies, all their CEOs just got on the phone today at 1 o'clock, freaking out. They got to figure out what to do.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock today. They had a phone call. It was a conference call. I don't know what was said, but it was.
I wonder
they
why.
Because they're about to lose their shirts,
They
possibly.
got to figure out, how to buy up all the natural medicine industry. I
Yeah,
guess.
they got to take RFK's post and be like, okay, well now we got to buy the company that makes ivermectin, we got to buy the company that produces nutraceuticals, which they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? It's a game, and there were some people that lost the game last night. A lot of people that people have no clue about. A lot of people that have never spoken in front of a group or in front of a camera they're being affected, and we're going to see some really interesting things in the next several months to a couple of years. So we'll see what happens with it.
We will see what happens with it. Well, on that note, I think it is time for a break. So everyone, do not go away. Stay with us. We will have more on truth, health, and wellness after these messages.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor Difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. Or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
Hi everybody, I'm Eli Gold, and I want to invite you to tune in to Jack State Live, a look at the campus and athletic department at Jack State, followed by the Coach Rich Rod Show, where we will break down and preview the next football game for the Gamecocks.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I Want to Live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
Penguins Bar and Grill. Come down for our amazing bar, stocked with everything you could want, and our amazing food, ranging from whole pizzas all the way to oysters. Our food is cooked fresh and brought to you with amazing service. For the best food and drinks, come to Penguins Bar and Grill.
Welcome back to Truth, Health, and Wellness. I'm Lacey Klontz, and I am here with the famous Dr. Matt and Deborah St. John.
Infamous.
Nah.
Hey, our website's down because our webmaster was found dead in his apartment.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Yeah, our website's down right now. We're working
Because-
on because our webmaster was found mysteriously dead in his apartment in Utah
That
a
happened.
few days ago.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Monday
Actually,
our website went down.
Yeah, on election day, our website went down.
That's
I guess it was
convenient.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Tuesday. Yeah, Super Tuesday. Yeah. And so, our website went down, and
So
and
please call us if you need anything,
That's
because
right.
now, can't get online.
yeah,
Not
and,
on our website.
And prayers for Dave's family and friends and people that knew him. We'd like to figure out what happened to Dave, and why
Oh
all
my
that happened.
gosh,
Yeah.
that's terrible.
Yeah, it was
like
wild.
10 days, no one had heard from him. They
Oh no,
you
did
know,
they send someone
they
for a
sent
wellness
someone out,
check?
and there
Oh,
were
no.
packages on the porch.
Amazon packages.
You know, they went in. It's gone.
How
Yeah.
old was he?
He was in his
Probably-
50s.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
way
not-
too young.
Yeah, it's still under investigation.
we don't know.
And they found out when? When did they find him?
Tuesday. Well, no. Tuesday's
Well-
when it went down. I think it was
A few days before that.
few
Yeah.
days before that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, prayers to
Yeah,
his family.
absolutely.
That's horrific. I hope justice is served. And
Yeah, us too. We're very curious about all this.
I mean, it could have been medical. You know,
yeah.
we don't know.
right,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah, it was. We have a lot of people. St. John's Nutrition gets into a good bit. We're down in Peru. We're down in the Amazon. We're a nonprofit. We engage in a lot of environmental things locally, and I sometimes wonder if some of our discussions openly in public about environmental issues and certain agencies or organizations or people that might not necessarily have the best interests of the public at heart. How much they get offended and how much they work against us in the background. But the good thing is we have a powerful God who really looks after us.
Yeah, he works harder.
And he works harder. And we've got some angels that I really hope I can meet one day, because they're pretty tough. And so they
think
look
so.
after us. So we whether it be the streets of Belen, with daggers on our side, or whether it be just meandering through this web of what we call life with the powers that be. Sometimes we just want to tell the truth, and we want to help people get well.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you can't be well without the truth, and deception causes you to be sick. And so when we see deception or lies, or people who are saying one thing out of one side of the mouth or doing another thing out of the other, then it makes us upset, and we like to call it out. And so that's what we do, and and sometimes weird things happen as a result of that. But we are very protected, and so we're not concerned with that. But yeah, it's been a really wild week, and this next weekend, this coming weekend, we're actually going to travel up to Indiana, of all places. Like, who goes to Indiana? Right?
I know, like what?
But it's actually well,
The Indy 500.
other than their food, sorry folks in Indiana, y'all really need to come down here and I don't know, just eat for a while in Alabama.
Some Southern cooking.
And bring it back up there. But because Indiana, other than the Mennonites can really knock it out.
Oh yeah.
They
Oh,
knock
I'm
out some
sure.
incredible food. But anyway, so we're going to go up there and we're going to visit with them. We're going to share and learn from them, and we got a whole weekend up there planned. So we enjoyed being able to teach, share, learn as much as we can, and absorb. And it's so cool. What I love, when you show up with one of these at the Mennonites, they're not impressed. Matter of fact, they believe they're pretty much the greatest tool of the devil that exists to a high degree, even though probably about 25% of them have them hidden in their homes.
Yeah, they do.
Called you out. And the Mennonites will call out the Amish too. Mennonites will go,
Yep.
those Amish, on Sunday they're at church and on Monday they're on their cell phones. But it's in their buggies and wagons and whatnot. But it's really cool though, because to be accepted by, the Seventh-day Adventist, we do a lot of work, and we private label, and we have several relationships with the Seventh-day Adventist. We have the Mormons. We have a lot of Mormons. As a matter of fact, Dave was a Mormon.
I was going to say Utah. He had to have been,
yeah, and
right?
we have a
Just about.
relationship, strong relationship with, of course, those down in the Amazon. most of them are Christian, and different forms of Christianity. But
Are they
and then-
mostly Catholic?
yeah, a lot of
Down there,
well, a lot
yeah.
of actually, you'd be surprised where we go. There have undoubtedly the Southern Baptists have been working out really hard down there.
That's so funny.
And it's funny. It's like, what are you? And it's like, I'm Southern Baptist. It's like, okay, cool,
They go to work on the accent.
Yeah.
But then they might still put like a prayer cloth over their head.
I was going to say, I
use
feel
some
like
of those
they'd be
little
more like
symbolic
Pentecostal.
type
Or
things.
type
burn
of
some
deal.
sage, and it's very interesting. Yeah. So but it's really neat. These diverse people, these people who are, Messianic Jews. We have all these different groups of people
There's
that kind of take us
Mennonites
in.
down in the Amazon, actually.
There are Mennonites in the Amazon. There
You
are
can
Irish
believe that.
slaves that were in the Amazon. Do you know that
Yes,
there were
I knew
in
that.
Brazil? And so there's but down in the Amazon, there actually are Mennonites who, well, it fits. You take a regular individual from Alabama and put them in the Amazon, they're going to have to adapt for a little while. But if you take someone who's already used to not having air conditioning and bathing once a week or whatever, which the Mennonites don't do that, they bathe every day.
Normally they live a little more north, though. They don't,
Yeah,
they don't really go that south.
It's hot. But it's really cool though to be able to learn from, and really the coolest part is just to be accepted by them. And the
Oh,
fact
I'm
that they
sure.
open. We pulled into Etheridge, Tennessee, which is home of some of the most hardcore Amish on the planet. And I'm talking about showers on Saturday, dad starts first, baby's last. Don't throw the baby out
with
in
the
the wash.
bathwater.
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
remember
That
that.
is
Y'all
where it
taught me
came from.
that.
And they're hardcore as they can be. No motors, no technology whatsoever. They do allow a single cylinder. I think I actually saw a double cylinder engine motor that they'll use in their shops. And so they
Cheating. I'm
will
kidding.
they will do that sometimes. But as a whole, they're not fans of technology whatsoever. So it's so cool. One day
So they say.
we're in a Class A motorhome, and which we were living in. We were touring all over. We've gone everywhere, and then we had our kids with us. And so we pulled this Class A motorhome, pulled it up to our to this guy who's a farmer, and he had a bunch of boys. Remember the boys?
Oh yeah,
And so,
they were doing this to us, trying to get
yeah.
us to
So we pull up and.
Oh my goodness!
And,
wow.
And so the guy comes up to me kind of like privately. He didn't want his kids to hear him asking me. He looked up and he goes, "So you and your family live in that thing, huh?" And I said, "Yeah, about part of the time we do." He says, And then he said something positive that I went and I shared it with another guy who knows the Amish really well, and he said, "Wow, that was actually a favorable statement
What'd
that
he
he
say?
made." I can't remember.
But it was
something
so
really
good.
strange. It was something like.
We wrote it down somewhere. I
Yeah, I
just
need to
can't
find that
remember.
because I told the story the other day and I came to the
Does that have
same
to do with
crash
our
landing.
closeness?
The verbiage
with
was a
family?
little weird, because
Yeah,
of their
because I couldn't
they're
quite
Amish.
understand if he
Right.
was. It seemed like a positive thing he was saying, but then when I told Paul, the guy who has this shop there who deals with the Amish, he's like, "Wow, he said that about your motorhome?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Wow, that's something."
Yeah.
Because they're so conservative that. But
They're
I think it had
against, yeah.
something to do with the fact that I had my family with me, and the fact that we were living in this. So while he might not have. Approved quite of the technology, he approved of our lifestyle a little bit.
The closeness, probably.
Oh,
yeah.
The
And so-
family
yeah.
close bond.
That thing. And so,
That thing.
we definitely we love to be able to share and experience these things, and we learn a lot too. One day we were going to our belt maker. His name's Abraham, and so we were getting Abraham to make us a couple of belts, and he said,
Was his son named Isaac? I'm sorry.
I don't. What is his son's
had to.
name?
I don't know his son's
That would
name,
be
but
cool.
he does have a son.
He has a son because we walked in and we heard a screaming child the entire time. When we pulled up, we heard a screaming child. We were talking
That
to
was
him. We heard a
probably
screaming
Abraham's
child.
kid.
Well, and
If you
Abraham
think
has
about
his leather shop in where he lived. So it's like if you walk, a lot of people have a garage. Well, his garage was a shop, and then if you walk through that door, that garage door, boom, you're in their house. And so we had this. We had this kid. And what was he? 5 years old.
Probably a little less.
So he tells us this 5-year-old kid, unfortunately, had gotten his hand in his leather tool making equipment and had lost a lot of the skin on his hand and was very hurt, very bad. And
Poor little
oh, you should have
fella.
heard his screams.
That's
and
so
so
sad.
we just happened to have some Tommy Bass salve in our motorhome.
We were taking off on a trip, probably to
Who
probably
knows?
Route 66.
We probably headed to Route 66.
I think we
and
may- I think we were.
And so we had all this. We were packed out pretty well. And so we had some Tommy Bass salve. We gave it to him. We said, use it. He literally.
It was what now?
Tommy Bass salve. Yeah, it's a very good repairing salve. And
Okay.
We carry it at the shop.
we have it at St. John's. It's
Named after that guy.
Yeah. Well, Tommy is a 6th generation salve. The only person that makes it now is Daryl Patton, and because he was Tommy shared the formula with him, and it's just an amazing salve. I mean, it just
There you
works
go.
great. So,
Did it work?
well, this is cool. We gave it to him, and then we almost fought for him to. I literally did that thing about don't steal my blessing, because he was trying to pay me, and so I'm like fighting with an Amish guy about paying me for some salve. So he finally accepts it. We leave, right? We came back months later, and he's like, hey, he goes, look at my. So his son is sitting there or standing there. His son is literally dressed to the hilt, like he's in a magazine for the Amish. I mean, the kid has his hair cut perfectly in the bowl shape. He's got the vest. This kid looks like he's in a magazine.
The facial
and he goes,
hair.
he's like, how's your hand? And his son holds his hand up. His hand looks perfect. And he's like, well, it seems to have fixed him up pretty good. And but then I look back, and his daughter is up on top of a box balancing, his 2-year-old daughter.
Probably 2, yeah.
She's like this tall. And
Standing
she's
like
standing on a FedEx box, like,
thing.
about to fall over.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, in other words, I'm thinking, Abraham, you really need to work on the safety
Yeah.
here in your shop.
Of the babies.
Right, but the Tommy Bass salve worked great for her, and we're
Tommy
happy.
Bass salve works great for a lot of stuff.
It really does.
We
Open
al-
wounds, bed sores.
We also brought in a few more salves this weekend. We were at the conference. We have some friends that make salves, all kinds of different homemade
Cool.
We're friends with the
things.
Crunchy Lady.
And
What?
they are
She
very
calls herself the
exciting.
Crunchy Lady.
Yeah, there's one lady who she's actually
Crunch?
she's near Pale City, and she makes a whole bunch of like shampoos, conditioners, soaps, deodorant. She makes a homemade deodorant that we're going to start
Nice.
carrying at St. John's. It's
We've been
really,
using it
really
for
good.
days. It seems to work.
It's great. I mean, you put it on with your hand, which is different.
I wasn't going to
It's gonna be
say.
like live on the air on television.
it's good.
No, it's been great.
No
actually.
aluminum, I assume.
Oh, no.
No,
aluminum.
it's,
No,
and,
no.
and toothpaste. She makes this really cool toothpaste. So we're going to be having some cool new homemade, awesome, clean things at St. John's.
What we're trying to do is as we do our running around, especially even in the Amazon, we like to bring these things back to share with our people, and I mean the real stuff. And so we'll bring this back, and we want to have a section where people can go at St. John's and really see some of this really cool homemade. And when we say homemade, we don't. I mean, the Crunchy Lady is an expert.
Oh, she's an expert
I mean, she is
at
she's
making
very,
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, she has a whole different occupation in healthcare too.
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
she?
she's like a nurse, I think, or
Yeah,
she's,
registered nurse,
Yeah,
whatever.
she does something
Cool.
with dialysis.
Yeah, actually, I think she might even have a dialysis center. But it's really cool though. This was a neat convergence this last time of people who were in the healing game. Joanne Smith from Andalusia, medical doctor, terrific woman, just a woman of God too. And she's just so caring about her patients that she's willing to take a weekend, drive from Andalusia, drive from LA, all the way up to Mentone to sit in classes with people, with some people who have a lot less training than she does, a lot less knowledge than she does in some cases, but she knows she needs that knowledge in these different things so that she can truly help her patients as much as possible. And it's really just awesome to see physicians being willing to do.
Oh, it's
to do
so
that.
special.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. Well, one quick question before we have to leave for
Okay.
tonight. The conference this weekend, what was your favorite thing you learned?
Oh, the favorite thing that we learned at this
Or the
conference.
most beneficial thing, or what's something that really stood out?
What do you think was the best thing that we learned?
We might
at
have to
this
find out
conference?
next week.
I know. Well, I do know that we saw a ginormous mushroom that was this big.
Huh? Ew.
Hen of the Woods.
Hen of the Woods, and Matt was holding it, and
Oh, I have a picture. I'm gonna put it on
was
Facebook.
literally this big. I've
was.
never seen a mushroom so big in my life. It was really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
But
Ooh.
all these new salves and stuff really was something I learned. I was really excited
the
about it.
vibe was incredible at this event. One of our friends, she's an author, Suzanne
Upton Shires.
Upton. I never remember which order to say her name. She's amazing, and she's been up in North Carolina. She's actually from around Chimney Rock. And so this whole
okay,
thing that's been
yeah.
happening, we've been supporting efforts up there along with the
Good,
stuff at the Amazon.
awesome.
I want to do a lot of updates next weekend,
Yeah,
maybe,
next
or
week.
next week when we get back, because it's really amazing. But yeah, there's a lot of great things happening, and a lot of really, really cool stuff that's in the works for natural medicine, for healthcare in general, and just for our country and our world. So we're excited.
Absolutely. So head over to their place and support them, St. John Nutrition on Snow Street. And that is all the time we have for tonight. I'm Lacey Klontz with Matt and Deborah St. John. Have a great night.